Well, folks, today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I'm going to tell you right now, it's possibly your only safety net. You're probably not going to get rich off it unless you got a lot of money to spend right now. But it will be a safety net because the American dollar is crashing. Okay? I'm trying to adjust my voice because people say they can't hear me. So I'm sorry if this device doesn't work that well. But yeah, Bitcoin is crashing. Or not Bitcoin, the US dollar is crashing. Sorry about that. I wish Bitcoin would crash a little. But hedge fund operators are keeping it up. Now, that's not to say it won't crash later on. And if it does, please take advantage of it. For the regular people out there, people like me, people like you, okay? Take advantage of Bitcoin. All right, if you can. Even a little bit in now, if it's going to keep rising, at least it's something, and it's a safety net for you, because when the American dollar crashes, your Bitcoin money will be worth 10 times as much. Okay, now I've heard of people talking about miners. I've never really done mining except for once cloud mining. Didn't really pan out. Can't really say much about it. I understand the situation. I understand what the halving meant, which just happened last couple days. So, I will tell you one thing that I do understand about the miners. A lot of it is they say that a good portion of it is electricity. They have to invest so much into electricity that it makes it not worth it for mining, for your regular household miner. This is something I might be able to solve. Alright? Now, we never really left the steam age except for with solar panels. And it's basically generators are all the same, including wind generators. Okay? Wind generator, water generator. Think about it. Okay, how does it work when you're... How does it work when your coal factory produces electricity for you? They burn coal, right? Well, they burn coal to heat up water. Water then steams in most of them, to my understanding of it, and then that water turns a turbine. That turbine then creates your electricity, in layman's terms. Okay, an alternator is technically the same aspect in your car. When the gasoline explodes in the piston, it turns the alternator. The alternator then generates electricity, which recharges your battery. Technically, in theory, you could put a alternator up on a stick with some blades. If the blades turn the alternator is going to create an electrical current, which you could then connect to a battery bank. Now, this is where prepping comes in, because, like it or not, eventually, if everything were to go down, knowing little things like this could help you. Okay, yes, a lot of people. Bo in the Fifth Element. He's a really good guy when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to like prepping and saying, okay, well, you need this to survive. But what about a long run situation? You need someone who's a little handy, don't you? Someone who might understand that. Well, do the research, understand it. It's not that difficult. Okay? You could literally take an alternator out of a car, a junk car, and create electricity with it. Maybe not great electricity, but maybe something to run something? Some lights? Something? I would suggest investing in portable solar panels if you have the money to invest in things like that. Wind generators. Being off the grid when you can, it's wonderful. And that stuff can fit on a car or a truck. Okay? Boats. Sailing prepper. Here. Boats. I want to get some new solar panels for my boat. I have a solar panel on my boat, but I want more solar panels. So I want to put an arch up. That's why a lot of sailors have that little arch so they can put solar panels up on it. Okay? a wind generator. A lot of them have small wind generators that help. There's also a water generator that goes off the boat when you sail that helps. By the way, for those of you that do Bitcoin mining, if you're not in the city, this is great for you. It's free power for you. And if you set enough money into that, I listened to one guy doing the math. How many thousands of dollars it would take to where he says he'd be doing like 15 to 20,000 a year just to do it if you bought the proper machinery. And if you had the old machinery, which would be cheaper, but would still mine the Bitcoin, it would cost more electricity. A lot of it is they're stopping at the electricity now. Well, you can. That's the thing. It's not that hard. Hook up a ton of solar panels, windmills. And by the way, there's multiple ways to do alternative electricity. Look into it. People have small generators that run on solar panels. There's a lot of things out there. Matter of fact, if you are going to have a ditch bag, I would suggest getting a solar panel, a folding solar panel, a small solar panel, to charge a small generator to go with you. Because unless you're on foot, that would be a good thing to take with you. If you had to ditch out. If you wanted to stay at home, like Bo said in one of his recently, where this is just items, this is an insurance thing, which he's right. And hell, how many people could use canned goods now? I mean, and the stuff that lasts forever. I've been talking about it in my past videos. But not to get off subject. Yeah, a small solar generator to run a few items, if the power goes out, would be a good thing. You know? And you could charge a lot of these by solar. They're right there. You can buy them off Amazon. Beyond that, being self-sufficient would be a good thing. Okay? So I suggest that you people that are well induced into being self-sufficient, get money self-sufficient as well. Put aside some money, since you already do this, for your solar panels, and set up a set of solar and wind, a wind generator and all that you know could power your house, and some of you guys are off the grid, and put that into Bitcoin. If you're already off the grid but you have internet, which if you see this you obviously do, then you guys could make a decent amount of money, and it'd be like an investment, a long-term investment. I'm not going to say it's free because you still have to put time and effort into the panels that last 10 to 20 years, by the way. They've gotten a lot better. The wind generator, which lasts 10 to 20 years or more, the stuff's gotten better. Okay? And you could look at that and look into that. And based on your needs, it's based on what you get. Okay? And then look at the needs of what you would need to do this. You guys could set up a mining operation while you're still dealing with your chickens, and you could actually support yourselves a lot better. Farmers, you can do this. So if nobody's buying your crops to go to the fast food industries, you can still make money and support your business on Bitcoin, running a small, tiny little self-made wind farm with solar panels, if you have a little bit of money to put into it. And then get some older Bitcoin machines if that's what you have to do to start out. They said hobbyist miners are out, but if the only problem is electricity, then hobbyist miners are still in. They just have to get around electricity. On top of which, I watched the Kaiser Report and a few other things, and they say a lot of hedge fund managers are going into this, and that's why Bitcoin pretty much, in my personal opinion, didn't crash like it was supposed to during the halving. In my opinion, the halving should have been for us. Now I'm thinking these banks that are doing this, that are putting money into Bitcoin and the hedge funds, they got bailouts. That's our taxpayer money. That's government bailing them out, and they're using it to go into Bitcoin. But they're telling you Bitcoin's horrible. So basically they're trying to keep you out and, like always, get the money all for themselves. Okay? Protect yourself financially. Protect yourself uh, with services. If you're going to protect yourself financially, tools, goods, things that you could use to make money, those are good things. Okay? Seriously, your coal plants still run off of steam. They just burn coal to make it. And trust me, if you think about that, there's a lot of other resources out there that could actually convert the coal plants in. But it costs them money to convert it, and they don't want to put the money in because they're just collecting. So we could have a cleaner environment. But you can't rely on your government for that. There's a lot of things you can't rely on. And Bo, if you see this, I don't know if you ever will, but your son's right. We need to build a wall. And what I mean is a monument wall, like they did for the Vietnam vets, and tie it into everything the politicians said for this. You're right about that. That's a 100%. These are things. This is what people need to think about. As far as stimulus checks, think about it. They keep talking about stimulus checks, but are they passing any? And the one that might actually go in, that everybody says might really go in, is just another one-time $1,200 stimulus check with some extra add-ons with it. They could print all this money. The Fed itself says that you have no problem. We've taken care of banks and all these places. We need the stimulus check to survive. And I suggest put it into food, shelter, Bitcoin, or making your own electricity. Anything around those lines. If you could do that, you'll be better off in the future because things are coming. And a lot of people like me have been saying this for years. It's actually happening. It's not no longer, it's coming in the long run. It's here. This is just the start, the beginning. Another thing I suggest if you are into Bitcoin, I found the best site to watch Bitcoin live. My roommate actually found it. I don't like giving him credit for anything, so I hope he doesn't see this one. It's called Bitcoin Liquidation Live. It's a really nice one. It shows a nice graph and everything. I've personally put some money into Bitcoin. I'm going to be putting more money in little by little because even if I'm not going to get rich off it, it's another form of currency. And when the American dollar crashes, and with all this helicopter money, it's going to crash. Okay? It will crash. Honestly, I'd tell you what. Any of you guys remember DuckTales? Yeah, DuckTales, woohoo. Yeah, well, Uncle Scrooge would be swimming in Bitcoin right now. Not gold. Not cash. He would have traded it all in, might have kept the gold and silver, because they're raw metals and they're still worth something. But he would have traded in all those paper cash and all the little coins that aren't made out of gold or silver. He probably would have melted those down into metal blocks or tin blocks just so he could use the copper in that for business purposes. But he'd be swimming in Bitcoin. Okay? Imagine it. Uncle Scrooge no longer swimming in all that cash, swimming in Bitcoin. Alright? There's Ethereum and things like that too. Guys, it's worth it. Okay? It may not, you might not get rich off this. Matter of fact, you probably at this point, you won't. But you'll be able to survive better. That's what I'm going with now. Survival, you're going to do it better with Bitcoin as far as financially than you will with anything else. Okay? Because the American dollar is going to be worthless. It's a fact. They're helicoptering money in to bail out all their buddies, even though they barely touch us. and the American dollar is going to be nothing, and the American economy is going to crash. That's just a fact at this point. I mean, it was a fact beforehand, but most people didn't pay attention to what was happening, and the coronavirus kind of lifted that into it. Okay? Um, when all this happens, the things that people are saying, well, that's a prepper thing to run in case emergency. No, it's your insurance for everyday stuff. It always was. You know, and you can't say, well, that never happens. Not here in the U.S. Hurricane Katrina. Give you an example. Um, okay, the things that you would have in what people call a ditch bag. Let's see. You have your flashlight, maybe some rations, a way to cook your food. All these things. I bet you being stuck during Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people, if they had something like that, would find it very useful. And stay away from MREs. They're horrible and they taste like crap. Unless, of course, you get the French, I guess. That's at least what I was told. Um, I know MREs suck no matter where you go in the world, but somebody said French MREs were pretty good. Um, anyways, honestly, you can get just as much out of powdered eggs and canned goods that are willing to last you like 20 years. You know, dried beans. That's another one. But yeah, these are things that would help you guys out. External purposes for cooking. Let's say you guys have an electric stove like I do. Okay? Power goes out, how you gonna cook? Oh, you're using a microwave? No, that's electric. I have a grill? Okay, good. So do I. And then of course you have the other system. You have little gas stoves that you could use. There's a lot of things like propane that you can hold off. Anyways, that's all useful stuff. I don't know what else I could say. Stimulus checks, I hope they do show up. Every little bit helps. But they don't care about us. They really don't. So just whatever you can. I'm still working. If you can, good. If you can't, I'm sorry, folks. I need to get my boat out. I'm doing everything I can. I just don't know what else I can do. But yeah, Bitcoin is gonna be your savior, and things like that. And the reason it is because it's the money of the people. It's not the money of the government. The government can't manipulate Bitcoin like that. The only way they can manipulate Bitcoin is by buying it up, which just makes the price go higher. Other than that, it can't really be manipulated. They can ban it, but then they're just hurting people at that point. And at that point, revolution maybe. But if they don't, and they let it be, at least the people who go into it will be able to survive decently. Even if it's only 5, 10. I use the Cash App, by the way. I went through Coinbase a year ago, had like $50 on it a couple years ago. And Coinbase, my phone crashed, I lost it. I tried to redo it again this year. I couldn't seem to get Coinbase to work for me. That maybe it was because all my information was already in the system and I couldn't figure out how to get around it. And my operator failure. So I went to this other thing called Cash App. And I'm using it to buy Bitcoin again. Maybe a little more so now to purchase Bitcoin than I did before because I literally put $50 in it and let it go. Which right now probably be worth a lot more than $50. But there's nothing I can do to get that back. So the Cash App. So far I've tried it out. It's a wonderful app. I think it's a good idea. It's fairly easy to use. I got my roommate to finally get it. However, I had to actually get it to work for him. He's younger than me, all this games and computer stuff, and I'm the one who figured it out for him. I'm 39 now, by the way. It would have been a birthday present, would have been that boat. Paid off, done, and in the water, and out in the ocean. But that ain't gonna happen. May 4th was my birthday. Next year I'm gonna be 40. I feel old. Sorry guys, I'm mainly just talking and explaining ideas and opinions, but, you know, what can one do? There's only so much. I wish I was out on the boat showing you pictures of me and videos of me out there sailing, and it's just going to take a little longer than I wanted. I want to get home to the Philippines. So, either way, yeah, I mean, wear your masks, wash your hands, keep your distance. That's what they tell us is necessary. Do your own research. Make up your own mind. Common sense, basic research. And try to figure things out for yourself. Obviously, they've been saying for years Bitcoin was horrible. They've been lying. Why? Because hedge funds, banks, people like that, people on Wall Street that are in the money, wouldn't be putting their money into it if they thought it was fake or bull. So yeah, financially, you should be doing that, in my opinion. Probably shouldn't say that. There's a bunch of things on YouTube that they kind of frown upon. I don't know exactly what it is. Promoting things, I guess, now. But this is what I could do. Have a good day, folks.